You're scaring people. Do you really want to scare your own people this much? He talks about homegrowns are next. I mean, people are scared, not just illegal immigrants, and a lot of them are working. I live in LA. They're the only people here who do work.
So here's what you don't know. First of all, President Trump has promised we're going to concentrate on public safety threats and national security threats, right? And the data shows that every morning I look at 22 pages of data. The last time I looked at data was the day before yesterday. 70% of everybody arrested is a criminal. 70%. Who's the other 30%? A lot of them are national security threats. We've arrested thousands of national security threats. Most of them don't have criminal histories because they're laying low to do their dirty deed down the road.
That's a political commentator and wealthy person terrified of losing his servants. As Bill Maher attempts to guilt-trip Americans into mass amnesty with cheap emotional appeals, only for Tom Homan to shut him down with cold, hard facts, proving that when you cut through the noise, the spineless virtue signaling doesn't stand a chance against reality. And welcome to Nurk News with Nurkish. As it appears, the elites are dusting off the same tired amnesty arguments we've heard for decades. Since when Democrats run out of excuses, they fall back on emotion and ignore the damage their policies cause. With Maher realizing that his cheap labor talking points cannot survive a head-on collision with Tom H. Homan's crime stats.
That we need some immigration. Like we used to have a quota, like 1 million people a year. Say that's the right number.
We still do. We're the most giving nation in the entire world.
Okay, so let's say it's that. And we went overboard for the last 4 years under Biden, and we let in too many. Wouldn't it be smarter now to say, now that it's zero, let's let that even out? We were going to have 1 or 2 million every year, but we let in 10 million. Instead of uprooting all these people now, why not just an amnesty? Okay, it's not exactly kosher how you got here, but the amount of people you're scaring. I mean, I'm going to say to you the thing I said to him when I had dinner with him that horrible night. And, they hated it, but I reported it honestly that he does listen. He looks you in the eye. And he not got mad one time when we were arguing about anything I contradicted him.
But let me get to the point, though. If you want to send a message to the whole world, cross the border illegally, it's a crime, but it's okay. Have due process, get order removed by an immigration judge, don't leave, it's okay. Just don't commit another crime, and you're good to go. If that's the message we send to the whole world, people are going to keep coming. And let me tell you something, illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. But Tom, the reason I am who I am, I've talked and got on my knees and talked to 9-year-old little girls who were raped by multiple members of a cartel just for passing her across the river. I stood in back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead people who baked to death. I ran Operation Ice Storm in Phoenix, Arizona, where smuggling organizations were ripping each other's off because the smuggled people were worth more money than dope. So they go to the house and rip each other off. They call a relative up and say, I have your brother here. You owe us $25,000. They say, no, we agreed on 10. Well, now it's $25,000. You pay it or I kill him. And they did. Bodies are piling up. They actually called relatives and tortured their son or their brother because they didn't pay the fees. What I'm saying is, that's what you have to show. There's consequences. Because if you send a message, there's no consequences, and you want to reward illegal behavior, that's not going to stop.
Right. And I get all that. And for all that, I thank you for your service.
This is exactly what happens when elites try to turn immigration into a feel-good project for their own benefit. As Maher frames it, like hardworking Americans should just accept mass amnesty because he and his wealthy liberal friends want compliant, cheap labor. And let's not forget, this is the same guy who mocked British people for saying they no longer recognize their own country, and even called the decline of natural-born citizens a happy fact, showing he doesn't understand what culture means or what a country is. And Americans didn't sign up to become a permanent servant economy. With the fact that Maher can't properly answer or challenge Homan proving just how backwards his politics really are.
Is people being just taken away who are just regular day workers. The waitress who worked for 14 years at some coffee shop. And everybody's like, oh, you know what? We voted to get rid of the bad people. The people you were just talking about, but not Carol. What's going on there? Don't you think it's been a little heavy-handed? Don't you think you've picked up a bunch of people who shouldn't be picked up at all?
It doesn't seem like it was done with a scalpel.
What I think about every day is, again, we prioritize the worst first, and the numbers show we do it. What I've said from day one, if you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. You know why? Because there are millions of people standing in line, taking their tests, doing the background investigations, paying their fees to be part of the greatest nation on earth. If you want to be a part of the greatest nation on earth, there's a right way and wrong way to do it. If you like it or not, the ones who are here illegally cheated the system. They moved themselves to the front of the line, and they've overwhelmed the immigration court system back 9-10 years, which means that people who are really trying to come here the right way are sitting in the back of the bus. right? It's just like what people don't talk about, these 10 million, 10.5 million that came to the border under Biden. Well, they're asylum seekers. What people don't understand, if you look at immigration court data over the last 10 years, nearly 9 out of 10 of them will get an order removal because they don't qualify for support asylum. They're not escaping fear and persecution from the home government because of race, religion, political affiliation. They're coming here for a better life, and I get that. But while they're clogging up the system and cheating the system, there are literally thousands of people in this world that really are escaping fear and persecution from their home countries that are sitting in the back of the bus. Yeah. So there's a reason we're a nation of laws. And if you or people don't like what ICE is doing, they go scream at Congress. We're enforcing law today.
Well, I hope it all gets better. Thank you for coming here.
This is where liberals really show how out of touch they are. As Maher complains about enforcement tactics without grasping the scale of the crisis, with millions here illegally straining schools, hospitals, and jobs, while the left talks about the fears of illegals, but never the fears of hardworking Americans dealing with the fallout of importing 30 million people. And on top of that, they paint ICE as villains while ignoring news about armed Antifa mobs shutting down facilities and activists training militias to fight agents. Not to mention the recent fatal attack by another deranged liberal writing anti-ICE slogans on ammo, which isn't compassion but chaos. And Americans deserve safety, security, and a functioning labor market, not open borders and threats of violence. So should America cave to elite demands for mass amnesty because Trump is scaring people? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, as that really helps us out. Until then, this has been NERC News. Thanks for watching.